2,977 people died on September 11, 2001. After the towers collapsed, rescue teams pulled 20 survivors from the rubble. Then they stopped finding anyone. The digging continued for hours. Then through the night, then into the next morning, nothing, just concrete and dust and silence. 27 hours after the North Tower came down, a rescue team hears something beneath them. They dig. Under 110 floors of compressed rubble, inside a cavity the size of a coffin, they find a woman. Her leg is crushed. Her head is wedged between two concrete pillars. She has been lying in total darkness since the building fell on top of her. She is alive. Genelle Guzman is the last person pulled from the World Trade Center. But what happened to her in those 27 hours under the rubble, and what she felt grab her hand in the darkness minutes before rescuers reached her, is something she has spent over 20 years trying to understand. This is the story of Genelle Guzman. That morning, Genelle Guzman clocks in at 8:05 a.m. wearing a lilac skirt. She's 30 years old, born in Trinidad and Tobago, one of 9 siblings. She grew up on an island where earthquakes were normal, and New York was a dream. She moved to the city because she wanted a life bigger than the one she had. By 2001, she is working as a temp secretary for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. The office is on the 64th floor of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. At 8:46 a.m., the building shakes. Genelle thinks earthquake. That is what earthquakes feel like back home. She runs to the window. The sky outside is full of paper and debris, floating everywhere like confetti from something terrible. She and her coworkers turn on the television. Terrorist attack. The PA system comes on and tells everyone to stay at their desks. Stay put. Help will come. Genelle calls her boyfriend, Roger. He doesn't pick up. She leaves a voicemail telling him she loves him. The building had a fire drill recently, and none of this matches. The alarms have not gone off. The emergency lights are not on. It does not feel like what they trained for. So she stays at her desk. 17 minutes later, the second plane hits the South Tower. The building shakes again. The elevators stop working. Genelle and her coworkers finally understand that the PA system is wrong and that nobody is coming to help them on the 64th floor. They have to walk. They enter the stairwell. 64 floors between them and the ground. The stairs are crowded. Hundreds of people moving down in a slow, orderly line. Genelle is walking beside a coworker named Rosa. At some point during the descent, they reach for each other's hands. They hold on, floor by floor. 50 floors to go. 40, 30, 20. The stairwell is getting hotter. Dust in the air. The building is groaning around them. Sounds from the structure itself, deep and metallic, coming from everywhere. They keep walking. They are going to make it. 13 floors left. Genelle's feet are hurting. She has been walking downstairs in heels for nearly an hour. On the 13th floor, she decides she cannot take it anymore. She bends down to slip off a shoe. At 10:28 a.m., the North Tower of the World Trade Center collapses. The walls of the stairwell blow apart. Rosa's hand is ripped from hers. The stairs beneath her feet are gone. Concrete and steel fall from every direction. She crouches and covers her face with her arms. Objects slam into her back, her legs, her head. 110 floors are dropping straight down, and she is somewhere inside of it. Then it stops. Genelle opens her eyes and sees nothing. Dust so thick in the air that breathing feels like swallowing powder. She tries to move her head. 2 concrete pillars have pinned it in place, one on each side, pressing against her skull. She tries her legs. The left one responds. The right one does not. Something heavy is crushing it, and the pain comes in a wave so sharp she cannot think. She is lying on her side in a cavity barely large enough for her body. Broken concrete and twisted metal formed an accidental pocket around her as the building came down. The only reason she is crouched low enough to fit inside it is because she bent down for that shoe. She calls out for Rosa, screams into the dark. The sound goes nowhere. The rubble swallows it. Everything she knows about the world outside this space comes from what she can hear. And she can hear almost nothing. A siren, faint, somewhere far above. Then silence again. Genelle is lying under the World Trade Center, and the only thing she knows for certain is that Rosa is not answering. The first hour, Genelle screams. She screams until the dust in her throat makes it impossible to keep going. After that, she lies still and listens. The siren she heard earlier fades. Other sounds come and go, distant rumbling, something shifting above her, metal groaning under weight, then stretches of nothing at all. She cannot move her head to look around. She cannot shift her body. The cavity holds her the way a fist holds a coin, tight on every side. Her crushed right leg sends pain through her body every time she breathes too deeply. The concrete dust has coated the inside of her mouth and her lungs, and each breath is shallow and dry. She has no water. The air inside the cavity is hot and stale and getting worse. Time disappears. She has no watch, no light, no way to tell if it has been 2 hours or 10. At some point, the temperature drops and she realizes it must be night. The first night passes somewhere between consciousness and something that is not quite sleep. Her body shutting down and restarting in cycles she cannot control, she wakes up to the same darkness every time, the same pressure on her skull, the same dead weight on her leg. Each time she wakes, she has to remember where she is all over again. She thinks about Roger, the voicemail she left him, whether he heard it, whether he is alive. She has no way to know if the attack was only the towers or if the entire city was hit. For all she knows, Roger could be under rubble somewhere too. That thought is worse than the concrete on her leg. Morning comes. She guesses it is morning because the sounds above her change. More movement, more machines. She tries to scream again, but her throat barely produces a whisper. She tries to push against the debris above her. It does not move. She is running out of strength, and she knows it. The gap between each attempt to call out gets longer. Then something touches her right hand. Fingers wrap around hers. A voice, close, calm, clear, says her name. Genelle, I got you. My name is Paul. The grip is firm. She holds on with everything she has left. She does not know who Paul is. She does not know how he got to her. She just knows someone is there and she is not alone anymore. Shortly after, she hears different voices, rescuers, digging, getting closer. They pull the debris away piece by piece until light reaches her for the first time in 27 hours. Hands lift her out of the cavity and into the open air. September 12, 2001. Genelle Guzman is the last person pulled alive from the World Trade Center. She is holding Paul's hand the entire time, and then she isn't. By the time she is on the stretcher, he is gone. Genelle spends 3 months in the hospital, 4 surgeries on her right leg. At one point, the doctors consider amputation. She keeps the leg. She walks again with a slight limp. She marries Roger. Of the people in that stairwell on the 13th floor, Genelle is the only one who survived. Rosa did not make it. When Genelle visits Ground Zero for the first time after the attack, she looks for Rosa's name on the memorial. It is there. She also looks for Paul. When news crews came to interview her about her rescue, they brought members of the first responder team that pulled her out. Genelle asked to see Paul. She wanted to thank the man who held her hand in the dark. The crew looked at each other. A member of the team told her directly, "There's definitely no one on our team named Paul." Genelle searched for years. In 2011, she published a book called Angel in the Rubble and told the full story of the hand that found her. After the book came out, a man contacted her co-writer and said, "I'm Paul, and I want you to know I'm real." Genelle agreed to meet him. She told him everything she remembered about those final minutes under the rubble. He could not recall any of it. She left that meeting the same way she walked in, without an answer. 24 years later, she is still looking. How did he know her name? How did he reach her when rescue teams with equipment couldn't? And why did he disappear before anyone saw his face? After 24 years, the only thing both sides agree on is that nobody can explain it. Let me know in the comments what you think happened under that rubble.